Peace, beautiful souls. So after the first ceremony, after each ceremony, we'll have like a one-on-one with the guide to like talk about our experience and his input and stuff. And one thing, like we were in a conversation, we were talking about how like humanity. He was saying humanity, everybody like around the world, right? Because there's a collective consciousness, right? Has like mental illness, right? And we just keep going, doing these jobs and doing all these things, running countries, all this with mental illness. And he was explaining it like he's like it's like a cancer, because we in our head think that we have to constantly grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And in reality, by nature, that's things are in cycles, right? There's cycles, there's death, there's rebirth. It's not constant growing. And that doesn't mean that you're not flourishing or like becoming enlightened or anything or being good or whatever, but it's not linear. It's not just this way, right? And we constantly think that, which causes a cancer. The only thing he said that just constantly grows is cancer, unless you stop it and heal it and pay attention to it, give it love and nurture it, right? So like we've put this mental illness in our head worldwide, because again we are all connected. So not saying that everybody's exactly like that, but a lot of people are rising up and starting to heal, which will eventually shift, right? But he was just saying that he was saying a lot of like in spirituality they use spirals, because we're constantly, most people repeat the same lessons over and over and over and over again, right? But he's drawing it like a spiral down, and I seen a picture of this kind of recently, similar, just a flat spiral, right? But he was like, it's really not like that. You do keep repeating the same lessons, but the spiral is going up. You're repeating the same lessons on different levels, until you beat that level, whatever, and then probably some more lessons, which I thought was really beautiful. And like the picture I saw recently was just a flat spiral also, and it was a quote, something like, I feel like I'm just going in circles. And then the other side was like, it said change your perspective, or you just have to change your perspective, and it was a spiral going up. And it's true, like if I think about my life a lot, I do like I check myself, but a lot of times I get caught up and I'm like, oh, I should be here, and I need to keep growing. But we also need to be in the present and like be grateful and appreciate, like be grateful of where we're at now, because we are farther than we were before. Even if it feels like we're in a loop, it's going up, it's not staying stagnant. And not to say for everybody, my bad, and not to say for everybody, because some people, like, they don't have a desire to want to change and grow, and they can really stay stagnant and exactly in the same spot. But I think it's still probably, it won't be forever. Like at some point it still goes up, even if it's not a lot, if you get what I'm saying. I think y'all get what I'm saying. But this was just like to have more grace for yourself. And we were all also talking about the ego. A lot of people think that you have to like completely kill off your ego, but he like helped me see that too. There's like the ego. He was saying like the ego is the conscious, what is the word he used, referral, basically. Like you have to constantly refer back to your ego, because that's the conscious being in this physical realm, because we have our higher self too, but that's up in the spirit realm, although we can connect with it here. But anyways, so he was saying like there's a true ego, a true master, right, with which to me embodies like your actual thoughts, like your closest, is the projection from the highest self, right? So it's closest to that. But then there's, he said, like sub personalities that are off centered. The true ego's here, and then the other ones are here, which causes us to think these certain things that we really don't feel, or that's not really how we think, or we say these things that we really don't feel, do these things, because for a moment, since we got off centered, we let that one come in and take the place of the ego. You know what I'm saying? Which made so much sense to me, because I be thinking like that. Like I have certain thoughts and I'm like, this is not me, but I feel it. But I also know it's my ego, but I was embodying it all in one, if that makes sense. Not separating it from, I guess, the lower aspects of your egos, which have all these little things, plus the highest aspect of your ego, which again is the conscious being, that analyzes the observer in your head. You get what I'm saying? That connects you with higher self. And they're all trying to protect you, right? But sometimes they don't know, like, the way they're doing it is not so great. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. No, I don't know. And this message is like, embrace the cycles, embrace your journey. Don't beat yourself up. Like, it's not a straight shot, and it's okay to repeat the same lessons. Just let yourself, learn from it a bit more every time. 11:44 while I'm watching this. I'm reading this. 8 minutes, which is 10, which is knowledge cipher. Let everything come full circle. Oh my gosh. Literally, let everything come full circle, and from what you've learned, and apply it, and you will go up, even if it takes some time. Even though you might not see it right away, let yourself like step out for a second and really analyze and see your growth, and just literally have grace, because it's not always constant, the growth, even though it is, but it's not. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I love you. See you later. I also wanted to add, in the beginning, when he was saying like we all have a mental illness, like the humans, right? It also made me think of Four Agreements, or the Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz, who also says, and by the like Toltec tribes, and curanderos, the healers, would talk about how the human race is plagued with a disease of mental illness. And they're like, imagine it like if, well, really the disease was like fear, but mental illness, right? We're all afraid, so we like get triggered, or we don't want to trigger people, so we don't say things, we don't do things, instead of like. And it's also like a fear of abandonment, a fear of loving and not being loved. And then you guys should read the book, it's a good book. But also like projections from growing up from our parents, from teachers or whatever, and it's like a reward system, like you have to do these things in order to be loved, like just being you is not enough, was what people have in their heads. And it's an actual factual disease, and it spreads, and it builds up, and it projects. And like, if you're feeling some type of way, some people want somebody else to feel that type of way, and it comes out in toxicity, like petty arguments and stuff like that. A lot of people are like, oh, I want them to feel how I feel, and I felt that way before years ago too. But in reality, it doesn't do anything. It's just poisoning you and poisoning the other person. But yeah, it's an actual dis-ease, and it manifests itself in many different ways, mentally, physically, emotionally. And people think that it's just one thing, and they've made it a normal. It says it in the book, and he was talking about it too. And I'm pretty sure when he was talking about it, he was saying it's actually a theory of this shaman doctor that he knows, everything I said. But they coincide very well, and it's like, it's not normal. Like, it's common in today's world, because a lot of people don't know how to balance mind, body, soul, don't know how to heal properly, don't know how to express properly, and are so afraid of like certain outcomes that they freeze up, or they run away, or you get what I'm saying? And it's not our actual normal or our nature to be that way. It starts from like really young, with all these things being put on us and stuff, and us seeing things, hearing things, all these things, and not, again, learning to express properly, or console ourselves, or be consoled by other people, or even feel that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not normal. And anybody who tells you that it is normal, or that you have to deal with it for the rest of your life, do not listen to them. Or that there's no cure for these mental illnesses and all these things. Please, bro. It takes work. It's not easy. Again, not linear either, but you can do it, and you can definitely be way better than you were even a year ago, a month ago, whatever the case may be. And it'll be beautiful and scary and wild, and feel repetitive, but you're moving, you're going up. You gotta let these things flow. You gotta let yourself feel, so you can heal, because you just have to. I love you. See you later.